And over to that big story that we broke earlier this evening. Suspected terrorists set off bombs and opened fire inside a mosque in Egypt's restive northern Sinai. More than 200 people have now been confirmed killed in that attack. While no particular terror group has claimed responsibility so far, an Egyptian branch of the ISIS is believed to be active in the restive Sinai region. So the latest coming in on that brazen attack on a mosque in the restive Sinai region of Egypt. Now, as per reports, suspected terrorists set off bombs and opened fire inside the mosque in the region of Sinai. Remember, this was on Friday at about noon, where the mosque was packed with worshippers who'd come in for prayers on Friday. More than 200 people have now been confirmed killed in that attack. So far, though, no outfit has come forward to take responsibility. But remember, an Egyptian branch of ISIS is believed to be active in the Sinai region. These are some initial visuals that we've been able to access of the explosion that's taken place in Sinai, which is, as we're given to understand, a region that is witness to almost daily attacks of different kinds. This, of course, far worse than what's been seen in the recent past. 200 people confirmed killed. Daniele Pagani, my colleague, WION's international correspondent, joining us on the phone line for more on that story. Daniele, the number of those who've been killed, casualties, has only gone up. What more can you share with us at this point?
Yes, as correctly you said, now the latest report to say that 235 people have died is also difficult to analyze clearly. Such a number is 235 souls departed due to a terrorist attack, which is definitely a very, very high number of people. One of the deadliest, if not the deadliest, that Egypt and especially the Sinai region has witnessed in a very long time. The Sinai region is an unstable region. It has been unstable, I would say highly unstable since 1 year, but very unstable since the 3 years. So let's not forget that 1 month back, nearly 35 security forces of the Egyptian army were killed in such an attack. It is, I would say, sort of a no man's land, where both tribes and militias and smuggler and criminal organization have their share of power in controlling the routes in and out of Egypt, because it's a huge border area which is on the northeastern part of Egypt. So this is a huge attack. This is an attack which has happened against a shrine, against a mosque. We know that part of the believers, from sources on the ground, say that part of the believers attending the mosque were Sufi Muslims. That's why the Islamic State could be well behind these attacks, because they consider Sufi Muslims as infidels.
Right, and you said sources, Daniele, that also points to the fact that it's very difficult to access this region. How exactly does the media manage to report on cases where it doesn't even have the requisite permissions to come to this region because of the security forces who prevent journalists from arriving there?
It is nearly, I would say, impossible for foreign journalists to access the Sinai area because it's too dangerous. It's nearly impossible. So the only way is to have a network on the ground of people who, unfortunately, were either involved in the attack, meaning involved because they were victims of the attack, or because they live in the vicinities, therefore they can reach. This is what I mean when I say sources on the ground. This is the only way. The Egyptian state television obviously has its presence in the region of Sinai, because, as I told you, Sinai is a region which has been in turmoil for a while now. Therefore, even the Egyptian media attention is there. But also the Egyptian media attention always, it needs to be taken with a pinch of salt, because especially when it comes to attack against the security forces, so not in these cases, they tend to downplay the number or be very careful in saying how many security forces personnel are killed in order to avoid the terrorists to pick up the number and use it as a propaganda, which is something that happens regularly.
Right, and in fact, we're given to understand, Daniele, that most of the attacks, and they range almost on a daily basis in the Sinai region, that they're usually carried out against security forces and Christian minority groups in the region. The fact that this is against a mosque, though, you said, of course, that this is it's believed that most of the worshippers were, followers of the Sufi faith. How exactly does an area that is so securely guarded in some ways, that is dealing with this situation, how do these kinds of terrorists gain access to weapons to carry out something of this scale? 235 killed is unfortunately a very high number.
It is a very high number. So you have to understand that the Sinai region, Aisha, is a region which is mostly desertic, mostly arid. It is physically impossible to control each and every inch of land in the Sinai. This number one. So it is impossible to police the entire territory. Number two, the Sinai is a well-established smuggling route, full of nomadic tribes going in and out of Egypt following the desert routes, which makes the Sinai region very, very porous for all these organizations. In fact, through the Sinai region, it is believed that some of the fighters who were fighting for the Islamic State within the Islamic State ranks in West Asia are currently trying to reach Libya. So this is how it happens, through desert routes, through back routes, through dirty roads. This is how terrorists can actually gain their access to areas like the Sinai, which is highly desertic and impossible to police. It's impossible to police every inch of land.
Right, we leave it at that, Daniele. Thanks very much for helping us have a better understanding of the region itself, and also bringing us up to speed on the developments on that story. Shocking visuals, shocking numbers. We'll, of course, keep you posted on all other developments coming out of the Sinai.